What up, guys? Kevin here. So, I want to talk about the rumors that PlayStation is going to no longer be bringing their games over to PC, specifically the big AAA games, the big single player games, those marquee games that you buy a PlayStation for, probably because they want you to buy a PlayStation. So, Jason Schreier mentioned it, John Linneman of Digital Foundry, I think, said something. It's all but confirmed. Even last year, I've made a video going, I think it's the first time since they started porting games over to PC, they do not have a PC port announced. And they still got plenty of games. They could do the Nathan Drake collection, Bloodborne, just like a simple port. But they got to get a permission from Miyazaki and FromSoft. Astrobot, Gran Turismo 7. They still got games that they can port over. But apparently no more. And I think that's a good thing. I think that is the right call to pull back from porting games over to PC. Because it turns out that people are leaving Xbox. They're not leaving Xbox to go to PlayStation. They're leaving Xbox to go to PC. Even with the crazy RAM prices, SSD, I went to go buy a PC the other day, or to build one, and even the like a 1 terabyte hard drive is over $200. Gotta be kidding me. But yeah, people are still going to PC. Why? Because all their favorite streamers are playing on PC. PC's pretty awesome. So PlayStation is like, why are we feeding that audience? Why are we making PC the place to go? And I think this is the right call. Got to pull back. Could I see maybe like Ghost of Yotei still going to PC? Maybe. They may have started already working on a port. But I wouldn't expect that until at least later in the year. But I really think they're done. Of course, like Marathon, the Horizon multiplayer game, all those multiplayer games will still come to PC because they need an audience. Now, PlayStation made a killing on PC. I think like over $2 billion they made since they ported games to PC. But a lot of that was Helldivers 2. And those early like games like the God of War, Horizon, I think Days Gone did well too on PC. But that was more of a novelty thing. Like, oh, wow, look, these PlayStation games are on PC. Let's buy them. My girlfriend actually bought Last of Us on PC for her daughter. But, yeah, those days are probably over. PlayStation needs to make their console the marquee place to play these games. They need to value their games. Putting your games on PC really does devalue it. If we're going to make a case that putting games on Game Pass day and date devalues Xbox games, putting PlayStation games on PC devalues them, no matter how long it takes for them to port it. Yeah, I just think it's the right thing to do. I'd hope they would announce it. I would want PlayStation to actually come out and announce this. Sounds like Jason Schreier is gonna do some story, and maybe they'll just let that be that story wise. But I think the world needs to know, like, hey, PC bozos, take that money, take that $500 that you're gonna spend on RAM, on new RAM, and get yourself a PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, or whatever, if you want to play our games. Like Intergalactic, the Hedgehog, whatever the hell that's called. I don't see that going to PC. I just don't. I think PlayStation just looked at the Xbox bozos moving to PC, looking at PC. They get a bunch of games. What's the Wonder Lost, Wonder something? The new survival game. That game's not on PlayStation. And I hear that's pretty damn good. That's going to be a hit once it releases. And if you're a PlayStation, you got to look at that. You got to look at the PC and understand, wow, they get games like that. They have World of Warcraft. They have Overwatch 1. I mean, so does PlayStation, but you look at like Resident Evil 9 Requiem just popping off on Steam. And that's like free marketing for Steam and also for Resident Evil. Now, I would think most copies are still being bought on PlayStation, but Steam doesn't need any help. Now, can PlayStation create their own store launcher on PC? Sure, but that's just more like for what? For what? To sell a few million of their titles a year? That may not be worth it. You just can't compete with Steam. I think they looked at Epic Game Store, they see Microsoft, they see all these other launchers just fail or just not do as well because on PC, people want to play their games on Steam. But yeah, so I expect PlayStation to, still put the little games. A game like the God of War, Sons of Sparta, that little 2D Metrovania game. I could see that coming to PC and even Switch here in a few months, like little games like that. But the big AAA games, yeah, PlayStation needs to keep those exclusive to PlayStation. And I think they will. And they'll probably lose sales, but they probably look at the sales of all their other games on PC that's not Helldivers 2 and go, yeah, all we did, we made like $1 billion, but we probably cost us like $5 billion, making people go to PC and just devaluing our brand. I don't think they want to do that anymore. And I called this out way before reporting that they've been done. They're done. I think they're done. Let me know what you think, because people are saying like they can't go back. They can't go back. Like, yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. There's nothing that's like dead set. Like, hey, you put these games on Steam, you got to continue putting games on Steam. And I'm seeing people say that like, oh, the next Xbox you can play Steam, and PlayStation doesn't want Xbox people to buy an Xbox to play PlayStation games. I do think PlayStation would be that petty, actually. I think they would. Didn't they do something like that? They did. They did. Remember, I think you were able to, I think it was like GeForce Now. You can access GeForce Now on an Xbox Series console and play PlayStation games that were on GeForce Now. And I think they found a way to block that, if I recall. So, yeah, PlayStation would be that petty. But you got to protect your brand. People are not buying consoles like they used to. So, even though PS5 is still doing well, they're not doing better than they were last generation. And they had a very healthy Xbox. Xbox is dead. They're dead and they're not doing better. I think that raised a red flag for PlayStation as, hey, we got to figure this out with our consoles. How do you figure it out? You bring the games back to PlayStation. I expect an announcement. Jason Schreier will probably do it for them. I think PlayStation maybe would just like, what if we just don't? What if we just don't and don't announce it? Just leave them hanging. I could see them being just leaving the PC audience hanging. All right, I gotta go. That is my thoughts on that. I will talk to you later. Later.